Anime Vanguards Update 4. Anime Vanguards has just recently updated to Update 4. This was a super big release for them. This was kind of a big, sink or swim update, in my opinion, because Vanguards was at a super low point with the Fate update where they're down to 5k players, and this update really helped elevate them to up to 60k concurrent, which is amazing. This is going to be my honest review for Anime Vanguards Update 4. Now, first, before we even jump into this, make sure you guys subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to the road of 500 subscribers, and I'd really appreciate if you guys could be on that journey. And with that being said, let's hop into the video. So, like I said earlier, Anime Vanguards, their 4.0 had just recently come out. It's been, I think, about a week now for me as of recording this video. So I've had a lot of time to play around with this update and try it out and just see what I like about it. This update came out with a lot of content. It came out with Rifts, which was a new mechanic to play the game. It's very similar to Anime Royale, if you've ever played that, where it's like little bubbles spawn in the lobby randomly and you can play with a bunch of other people. You can get Yuhash from it, who's really OP, and then you can get some familiars, which are also super good. And on top of that, they added a lot of new banner units. I think 7 new banner units in total. I don't entirely remember. That's a lot of characters that drop on the banner. And then as well as that, we have Yamamoto from Legend Stages. And then as well as that, we have the Love Portals, which is kind of like a mini Valentine's update thrown into all of this Bleach stuff. So that's 4 new things to be doing in this Anime Vanguards update. And the time between last update and this update really wasn't that long of a wait, and it especially was worth it when we've gotten as much content as we just had. I think the units we got in this update are super good. I know a lot of people were complaining that a lot of them felt weak, but I think most of the units in this update actually feel pretty strong. Keep in mind that this game dips a little more into the strategy part of tower defense games, where AA just they dip their toe into power creep, everyone wants a better character than what they have with each coming update, because that's how Anime Ventures has built their system around. And Vanguards is similar, but they also have, on top of that, all these new things with passives that can make and break characters. So I think they did good with basically every character. I mean, Uryu is probably, I'd say Uryu and Kizuke are probably the two units. Kizuke is good, obviously, but if you don't have Alucard, without him, he's going to be a little strange. Yamamoto, if you haven't been grinding for him already, Yamamoto is completely broken. I think the 2 people you immediately need to get from this update is Yamamoto and Ichigo. Very great units. Super strong. They can just help you with everything in the game. Giselle, she is super strong as well. They summon a lot of stuff around the map. I think it's up to 120 summons on the map. It's crazy. And then Yuhash is also super strong. So they did amazing on the units front. They added a lot of quality of life on top of the hundreds that they already have. And then they added a bunch of new game modes for you guys to play, which is also super fun. So with this Anime Vanguards update, you may be hearing me talk about positive after positive after positive. And that's because, yes, there are negatives to this update. And yes, I will address some, but the positives for this update greatly outweigh the negatives, in my opinion. I think it took Vanguards from a game that had kind of a mixed perception of people. Some people hated it and whatnot. I'm sure some people still do, but a lot more people now care about the game, play the game, and like the game, which is great because this is exactly what they needed with an update, and it's great to see. I really do hope they can keep it up because this is great. I mean, this is all I've wanted from a Vanguards update. So, with all the glazing, let's get to some of the bad things about this update. So earlier, I said the good things about this update majorly outweigh the bad things, which is true in my opinion, but that doesn't mean there weren't bad things. One, this is just a personal thing, and I've seen it with a couple of my friends and a couple of people in the Vanguard server, but the Valentine's update, I know it's supposed to be a mini update just thrown into this one, but it doesn't really feel like there is much to do with the love portals. I mean, you literally just get the rerolls. You get a chair, which 99% of people aren't going to get unless they're macroing or leeching. And then you get Giselle, the main unit, the main attraction, the whole reason you're doing it. Outside of that, there's really nothing else you need to do the love portals for, which is like, in my opinion, kind of boring, because they could have at least done like a mini skin event or something and just add in like 2 or 3 skins that you can grab from the shop, or you can summon for, or whatever. I thought they would do a little more for it. I'm not like completely like hurt, but it's just, I was wishing they would go a little more. So the next bad thing about this update, this is not like a super serious thing, so I'm not gonna like sit on here and talk about it for a while, but the bugs, every Vanguards update launches with just a disgusting amount of bugs. They actually held it down pretty decent this time. There were obviously bugs, but it wasn't enough to where it like ruined the update within the first couple hours. So I think they actually did a pretty decent job, but there was still a large amount of bugs that I was seeing and dealing with, but they got fixed pretty fast. And then 3, I'm also just gonna add in quick, I think the balancing was a little bad this update. I'm aware earlier in the video I said a lot of the units are really good and balanced, and that's because most of the units they had to rebalance and change. You can go through the update logs in their Discord server, you can go see that. A lot of units they had to fix, a lot of units they had to rebalance, they had to change their damage stats, they had to give them abilities like Ichigo. I just wish their balancing was a little better to where they, you know, it would save them the time and it would save us the complaining, and it would just make both sides win-win. But that is another bad thing about this new update, and that basically wraps up all the bad things that at least I can think of about this update. I'm super curious, and I know a lot of you guys are also probably really curious about how Vanguards is going to be moving on, because they are on a really good streak right now. These last couple of updates have been really good. They've been enjoyable. Fate Part 1 was kind of some people enjoyed it, I didn't enjoy it, but it was a good step for the game. The winter update was great. I really liked it. A lot of people seemed to really like it. It was an enjoyable update. Fate Part 2 people really liked. I really liked it. And then obviously this Bleach update I love, and a lot of people love it. The player count reflects that. So moving on, what's next for this game? It really all matters on their consistency. Anime Adventures back in the day, people used to glaze and love so hard because they were consistent. Every update they would release, even if it was mid, right? It was still enjoyable and it was still consistent. You would get a consistent stream of updates at a certain time, and they would all have a huge amount of content and just stuff like things you can do in with them. Vanguards was struggling at the start because they obviously weren't very consistent. Now they have that consistency, and now I would love to see them keep it up, because if Vanguards keeps this consistency up, I mean, they could easily be the #1 anime tower defense game. So my overall thoughts about this update, I am going to give this 2 giant thumbs up. This is a great update. I don't really care if I'm glazing it, but I really enjoy it. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I'm still not done with it. I still have a lot of things to do, and I really do think they outdid themselves. I think they have surprised a lot of people and have brought a lot of people back to the game, including myself. So kudos to the Anime Vanguards team. I'm very happy they were able to save this sinking boat for a while and turn it into something great, pretty enjoyable, and a lot of people seem to really love it, and I'm really happy to see that. I mean, I don't, as much as I may have in the past like disrespected some other anime games, I don't like to see them die. I mean, it's people's jobs, it's people's dreams. It's like, I don't like to see them die, and I love to see a good comeback story, and I mean, I think that's what we're seeing with Vanguard. So yeah, with that being said, that basically wraps up my honest review of this new Anime Vanguards update. It's great. Go try it out if you haven't. Go give Vanguards another shot if you haven't. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and in my description down below, I'll also have a link to a Discord that I made for you guys. It's going to be a community Discord for anime, Roblox, mobile games, gaming, it doesn't matter. Just anything you guys want to talk about. You can talk to me there and maybe just get a clue into what the next video could be. And with that being said, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.